Okay, so if we were to turn some of this room into a prayer room, how would that look? Let's say a chapel. So it's got to be at least 6 by 6. Altar pews, prayer mats. Now, just before I use the space, I did want to put a CCTV camera in there. So let's do that. Let's see which way around. That's facing us because it's got a large dark square. Small black circle means it's facing away. That there. I won't worry about connecting it just for the moment. Objects. Okay, so we'll remove those planning marks. Wow, that's quite large. So I wonder which way round is the front. Let's see. Okay, I'm not sure that there is a front or a back. So maybe we'll put it to one side like so. So pews are 200 and a prayer mat is 50. But we can get a few prayer mats. Alright, so now we'll put in some pews. And do we need a preacher or anything of that ilk? No, is there anything that we need to do on the regime or the programs? Sure, I saw something somewhere. Spiritual guidance. Let's see, so led by a spiritual leader, so I assume that's like a teacher, they will just turn up. Easy sounds good. Ah, now carpentry, one's interested. I think for carpentry we actually need a carpenter's table though, which we don't have yet. And before we can fit, we just need to make sure, yeah, we've got capacity to run another machine. I think it's about 1500. Okay. So, oh, something's kicking off. Nothing major. So we've got a full set of prayer mats. So maybe we should lay a few more. Okay, so they're going to take him to solitary, that's fine. Have you got any injured prisoners not going to solitary? No, I think everything's good. Now, what about our legendary guy? Is he still in here? He is. Okay, so he's getting close to... Oh, did I just put in for solitary? I meant lockdown, not... Yeah, I don't want him going into solitary, I just want him locked in his cell. Right, let's get... Actually, if we go from here... I need to see the connections. Which ones have I... Right, so this is the one I've not done yet. So you... We want to connect you to there, so connect... And it's from the monitor to the camera, if I remember right. Have we got any more not wired up? Obviously that one. And there's a couple of places where I wouldn't mind a camera. Just there, for example. And now I'm going to have a door there. Maybe I just move the door slightly. We'll have the camera there. And we could do also with a camera here. Okay, how I work out the sinks and cookers and fridges and things, it was partly through information on the wiki and then partly through adding a little bit of maths and behind it, and then a little bit of trial and error on top of that. So I know that one cook can handle one cooker, but it seems that the cooks spend, it must be about a fifth of their time resting. So that means that for every 5 cooks you actually need an extra one. So for a kitchen like this where I've got 4, but they're only just able to keep up with the requirements of the prisoners, it's not a bad thing to have a little bit of surplus staff in my kitchen. On the wiki it says that you need 1 freezer for every 2 cookers, so that was nice and straightforward. So we've got in the kitchen here where we've got 4 cookers, we've got 2 fridges, and for each cook can clean at a sink. So, but if they're not using the sinks all the time, and it's a little bit less time critical, the time they spend at the sinks. And a lot of the time when they're cleaning up, they're actually out collecting the dirty dishes. So you need slightly less sinks compared to cookers because they're not all going to be stood at the sink at once. So I have slightly less sinks than cookers. I have half the number of fridges to cookers, and then I use the wiki to put in the right number of serving tables to benches and tables and things. I can't remember off the top of my head the figures, but one cooker can turn out a certain number of meals depending on your variety and quantities and stuff like that, and your serving table can handle a certain amount as well. Now I found that to feed a fixed number of prisoners, so I forget quite how many, I think there's something like 45, something like that in this area. And at one point I had it exactly to capacity, and I found that by having just about the right number of tables and benches, because each of these benches sits 4 people, so you should be able to fit 8 prisoners on 1 table. I found that the prisoners wouldn't always sit in the space allocated to them. So if you had 2 prisoners that were hungry and there was 2 spaces for them to sit, they wouldn't always go there. And with the serving tables, if there wasn't a little bit of surplus capacity, then if a prisoner turned up late, there was a chance he wasn't going to get fed. So yeah, having an extra table and a couple of extra benches and a little bit more capacity in the serving tables, especially more so in a big area like this, because the prisoners just don't act, they act like people. They just don't behave exactly as perfectly efficiently as you'd like them to. So they don't go and sit themselves down in a tidy manner, they sort of scatter themselves amongst the tables. So when the prison's quite full, people start going hungry. So in here I've got an extra 2 serving tables. It just gives the cooks somewhere to put the surplus food, and an extra 2 cookers and an extra fridge, more than I'd originally planned compared to the size that they're supposed to be feeding. I think they're supposed to feed 120. I think I've got 120 in this area, and there's a little bit of spare capacity in tables and benches, but yeah, I had to put in the extra serving tables when at one point the prison was quite full. Oh, it was actually, yeah, when I had this area down here designated so that we could fill this top area to capacity. That was part of the testing. I just wanted to know how the canteen logistics worked, so I needed to sort of fill places, get this area full and get that bottom area full, and then test different things. So it was quite interesting. I like doing that sort of stuff. I'm gonna put in a couple of extra metal detectors, and these ones I'm gonna put in the kitchen. We must have just sold a tree. Yeah, just bought a tree. Let's sell some wood. And we need a bin. See? Yeah, looks right. Let's get shakedown going. I found to keep on top of the tunnelling attempts, it helps to have a shakedown about every second night, if not every night. So I keep my prison cells away from the walls. It just means that they've got further to tunnel. The other thing that I do is I keep my large pipes as far away from the cells as possible. I keep the large pipes centralised. Small pipes can go, I think it was 39 before they need to hit a large pipe. So you can keep your large pipes quite some distance away. The only cells I've got, these are the riskiest cells because they're up against this open space here, which will be built on eventually. Let's check that. Let's see, yep, we've got power there, so that's fine. Right, I've got a few more metal detectors I want to put in. And that is here. I want to put another 2 there, but we'll have to wait till we've got a bit more cash in for those. So I wonder how our legendary prisoner was getting on up here. Oh, he's dead. Okay. Right, so we've successfully starved him to death. I didn't notice a dead message coming up. Possibly with with him being in the dark there, nobody had realised he'd died. So that's a successful way of getting rid of your troublesome prisoners. I wonder if we've been penalised for... Yeah, so it doesn't count as a day without... it's not a day with an incident. So killing your prisoners with starvation doesn't cost you a penalty. That's quite interesting. Oh, someone's kicking off, but not for long. So there's another big stack of wood there. Well, we might as well finish the shakedown, because if we were going to catch them digging tunnels, we probably would have caught them by now. Wow, so the dead prisoner, he was due to go to solitary, so they've taken him to solitary. Well, I wasn't really expecting that, I have to admit. Gosh, that was state-sponsored murder. Starving him to death, but yeah, it does work. All part of the experiment. Right, we've got some more cash, so let's put in the last of the metal detectors.